Whoa, we're here, and it's Saturday afternoon, and we're doing a show at this time? Well, it's the member stream, and this one tends to slant a little on the earlier side, but hopefully you'll have a good Saturday afternoon, or for some case of you, the evening. Yeah, it's a wildly busy weekend, but I'm like, no, I haven't done a member stream all month. And I was meaning to do it a few weekends ago, and well, life happens as it always does. And luckily, I was able to squeeze in some time for today. But really, really stoked to be able to happy to hang out with all of y'all today. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be huge. And I posted the link in the community post. So if you're a channel member of any level, all three levels are welcome today. We do got to keep it a little short. I probably once it hits like the hour and 15 mark, we gotta wrap up conversation, plug a channels, and I gotta get ready to go on doing some personal life stuff. Let's acknowledge those faces. What's up, Jeffo? Christian Delore, Deleted Scenes. I'm sure Deleted Scenes will be here soon. What's up, Deleted Scenes? Christian said, well, Nick, your review convinced me. It's going to be a date night movie. By the way, let that be a shameless plug. I did a video reviewing A Working Man, the new Jason Statham movie based off the Levon Cade series from the first book titled Levon's Trade from Chuck Dixon right here. Hell yeah, bitch. So, did a review on that, and I would highly suggest, since you're watching the member stream, put that on your watch later tab to watch immediately after the show, because you definitely want to check out that review. Had a lot of fun, nice, quick, boom, band done, easy in and out. What's up, Jonathan Conroy, DJ B2, and Jedi Master 2022's Lost in Space? Good to see all you fine gentlemen here. I like seeing this crew of dudes here. It's really awesome. It's really divine, might I say, to have all the boys here ready to hang out and just really just talk about whatever, really. And that's really all, honestly, I just want to do is just talk whatever. It could be pizza, we could talk movies. I really don't care. I want to have time to hang out with the dudes. Christian, I know you're a channel member. Get your ass on in here. I put the link there. Come on. Do it. You can do it. So yeah, I guess I'll just get into the thick of things a little bit. It's really crazy how in the last few months I've actually been to the movie theaters quite a bit. I don't know if that's like a sign that like it's becoming a habit again, or if it's just because it's not just me. Maybe it's also because there's kids. But some of the movies I have seen, no, without my children. But lately, let's see here. I saw Nosferatu. That was good. Took the kids to see Dogman. We enjoyed that. And now, of course, I saw A Working Man yesterday. Did a review for that. Go watch that. And I know there's something else I want to see soon too as well. I'm like, whoa, we're actually getting stuff that people want to see. This is what the other side of that is looking like. It's like, we're getting there. We're getting to that place where things can be cool and can be fun again. And I can't believe, remember in 2021, I got involved with all of y'all here on YouTube, and man, it was a dark time. When you look back on that, that was the dark ages, if you really think about it, because that was when, let's just say, stuff that was really ingrained in the message was absolutely in lockstep, and it was just coming in full force, beating you over the head with it. It was already kind of like, planting its seeds everywhere, growing in, growing out. But man, it really, really ramped up for a few years. It was just wild. I see Muhammad said, "What's up, buddy?" He says Godzilla minus one zero sequel. Is that official? I had heard rumblings, rumblings of a sequel. I hope that that's true. I would like for that to be true because I loved Godzilla minus one. Shame on me for not buying that on physical media yet. Yes, I know. Go ahead and lecture me. I know. I suck. Oh well. Sometimes I fuck up on things too. Forgive me. Forgive me. But I want that to come out. I actually feel like we could use a sequel on that. That actually feels like something that, even though it stands so well on its own 2 feet, getting more of that would be great, especially if you had the same creative team involved, which to me that's gonna be the best way, the best sureness that is gonna happen. What's up, Nick the Greek? He says Sequel scares me. But wait, I'm not a member. Hey, I mean, all I'm saying, I'm not here to obligate people, but it costs as low as $1 to be a member. Just saying, just saying. So the $1, $5, $10. So just saying, there's your incentive to come on in. Just that's, I do it for the members. I do it for the members. But anyways, yeah, Godzilla sequel. I really am excited at the prospect of that. I understand why a sequel could scare. I get it. I mean, you're messing with a great thing. And I think one of the biggest things you have to think about when you think about a Godzilla sequel off of Godzilla minus one, besides the story and what could unfold from it, I feel like his expectations. No one saw Godzilla minus one come in and be like, "Whoa, this is gonna be the thing." It just kind of took over the conversation out of nowhere. It was really just like it just showed up there, almost like it was always was there. We know that's not true, but you get what I'm saying. People treat things differently once expectations are there, and once expectations are on the line, people have a bit of a heightened scope on how they see things and perceive of them. So when you throw in expectations in the mix, it definitely can alter your notions of how you're going to look at something. That is for certain. Oh, we got Nick the Greek here for $4.99. Says, got the Godzilla minus one 4K special edition from Japan. Be jealous, peasants. I can't do a villain laugh. Well, maybe I could if I practice. Maybe. What's up, Gonzalo Bergali? Oh, yeah. I got Gonzalo Bergali here coming in the chat saying, oh, yeah. I hope he has a nice good old Slim Jim down in the south of South America. He better be snapping to a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah. What's up? Oh, look at this. We got the man himself, Mr. Deleted Scenes. It is a pleasure and an honor, and your beard is amazing.
It is. Yeah, actually,
and I love that
I need to go out and get it trimmed.
You know that it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. I got a little lazy with the whiskers, and everybody started liking it. So I said, what the hell, grow a beard? Why not?
I love it. I freaking love it, dude. That is fantastic. No, don't stop. Keep it going. Keep it going. We're gonna have to do a look back on where Steven was then, and then show you later on. Oh no, we gotta do that now because you now, and then later. It's man. Soon before you know it, you're gonna be like a Viking walking amongst men. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. What's the goal? Are you just kind of taking it day by day?
Yeah, day by day. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I had the thought cross my mind to maybe shave it earlier today because it started itching a bit, but it's fine now. So I need to trim it down. I know that, but other than that, I'm gonna hang on to it for a while. Yeah.
I like it. Okay, killer, man. So okay, I was just going off on a tangent about movies and where we are at, and how in the last few months I've actually gone to the theaters quite a few times, and even when I haven't gone to theaters a few times, some newer movies I've caught on streaming, some on my own, some with the kids. Do you feel like we're just in a unique outlier time period where some stuff is coming out that could be enjoyable, or do you feel like there is a shift right now? Where do you think we are at with the scene? Especially, I know you're a big movie guy, a big 4K collector guy, much like our buddy Tom. I feel like you are probably the perfect guy outside of Tom. Like you two would be the perfect, and maybe fans to ask this type of question. So, what do you think, man? What do you think?
Well, I'm not ready to say we're in the middle of a shift just yet.
Okay.
Because I think we still have maybe a year or two before they finally realize we have lost too much money, and our audience is disappearing. Which it is. Because it's like I have so many people tell me, is that a movie? Is that a streaming series? I didn't see a trailer. I haven't heard of it. People are not going to movies anymore. You know, I've when I go to the movies, I am very often there either by myself or there's like maybe 4 or 5 people, and half of them are probably in the wrong theater. Let me put it that way. Um,
Oh, that's
so,
great.
or you're just like sitting in the front row, looking all the way up like this, going,
Oh,
"Looney
that's
Tunes, all right,
hilarious.
man." You know, because I'm like the one person who went to the Looney Tunes movie. But
I feel like there was a horrible marketing job with that, but
they
we'll
did.
talk about that after you answer
We'll
your
get to that.
question.
Yeah,
Go ahead, yeah. Round out your question. We'll talk about Looney Tunes movie.
yeah,
But go ahead, round it
because
out.
I think it kind of depends on what kind of a movie I like to go see. Like something like A Working Man is up my alley. I would have gone to that regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, there because I get it. There are movies that are not for me. Snow White is not for me.
Who's
Not
it for?
because of the controversy surrounding it. It's just it's not something I would normally go to see. Hello, Penny. Um,
Hello.
Although I went and opened my mouth on one of my shows and said that if I get 10 super chats during my next show, I'll watch it and review it.
Oh no! And you got it. You, of course, you did.
It's going to. I think it's going to happen. We'll see. And when I do, I'll be honest about it. Because
Yes.
I'm not expecting to hate everything about it. I'm not expecting it to be perfect either. So it's going to be an interesting one. Um, Ian, yeah, but
Go on.
well, I keep saying that the way that I look at movies and the way that I review movies hasn't changed. And that's not really
Mm-hmm.
true, because it's kind of difficult to tell people to wait and see a movie when it's streaming when that's how I saw it. Or I
Uh-huh.
watched it
Uh-huh.
online or to maybe certain sites that we do not condone. We do not condone. you know,
Do not
but
sail the high seas. We are not pirates, and we are not endorsing, condoning any of this type of behavior.
we
Carry
are
on.
not, you know, but it was getting kind of hard for me to tell people to wait for streaming if I had already seen a movie on streaming. So I had to kind of rethink things a little bit. So I kind of narrowed it down to movies I would buy on 4K, movies worth seeing in theaters, wait for streaming, and then kind of past that, pretty much forget it. It's maybe worth a look or it's just an absolute skip it.
Okay. Oh,
So I kind of had to narrow things down a bit. But to go back to your original question, I think it's probably going to be. I think this year is really going to be the difference, especially when it comes to Disney and Marvel, and because with Disney is hurting with Snow White is going to lose at least 200 million, at least. Thunderbolts is up in the air. I don't know how that's going to do, but you're talking about a movie made of basically the villains, the quote unquote the villains. People don't want to see movies about villains. They want to see movies about heroes. I don't know where that movie's going to go. It's up in the air. I honestly I don't think it's going to do that well. I don't think it's going to do as well as they think it is.
well, I think here's I think the best possible outcome for that type of movie is I have heard that it has tested well. Now, that doesn't mean I'm gonna like get all excited, get my hopes up. Because to be very fair and honest, I really don't care about the movie. I just don't. I saw the trailer and I actually thought it sucked. I know that's not like anything that really stands out to say. That's almost like even safe to say. Oh, what's up, Gwen Stacy? Long time no see. What's up? Good to see ya. Cheers and beers. Um, so I actually didn't hate the first trailer. I thought it was okay. Actually, I was like, okay, harmless
Mhm.
trailer. Then second one happened. I'm like, okay, now this is actually downright awful. So Yeah, I know. I feel like villain type of stories, they can happen as a seldom thing. They have a place, but it shouldn't be the expectation. And it seems like because Joker succeeded, they wanted to make that the expectation for all these other villains and not treat it as a one and done experiment. And once again, it's cool to take chances. You know, sometimes you swing and miss, sometimes you swing and hit the target. And that one clearly worked, but its sequel didn't work so much. Though I did enjoy the Penguin series, I feel like that should be a one and done and should not go any further than that. Now, I got one other thing to ask you about. Did you enjoy the Looney Tunes movie?
I did. It's a bit of. I thought it was a bit of a slow burn. That first half hour is rough. I'll grant you that. The family that was in there with me walked out at that point, like about a half hour in, and I understand, because it does take a while to get started, but once it gets there, it's like,
It's
okay,
all
I get
hijinks.
this. It's hot. It's like the old school Looney Tunes hijinks with like a bit of Ren and Stimpy thrown in. And I think that's what you kind of got to understand going in. It's got some of that kind of humor to it too. It's not going to be the matter of, which audience gets it, what kind of audience will get it. It's like, oh, the right people are going to get this, And if you go in with that kind of a mindset, you'll enjoy the movie. But one of the issues is that this was a movie that was not. I mean, it's not the fact that there's poor marketing. There was no marketing because Warner Brothers, for whatever reason, they're trying to dump Looney Tunes. And I saw a story today where they're actually going to raise one of the buildings where they do animation.
Yeah, I heard
And
about
that is
that
a
too.
mistake.
It's a huge mistake,
Yeah.
and Nick the Great seems like you and Nick the Great and I are all on the same page. I did not know about this coming out, and I feel like had I had known, I would have made it a priority to see it and see it soon. And immediately when it came out, I didn't even know. And I know I wouldn't say I'm like a big diehard fan, but I do love it. I grew up with it. I have volumes 1 and 2 on Blu-ray or DVD, which one ever you want to. I can't remember which one, but I own it. I grew up with it. I own Marvin the Martian shirts. Some of my socks are based on those characters. So, and of course, I enjoy, when I go to like Six Flags, I love seeing all the Looney Tunes based merchandise and the rides. That was a big thing for me going to Six Flags as a kid. So obviously there, and of course when they did a collaboration with DC Comics, I bought every DC Looney Tunes issue, every one, just because it was Looney Tunes. That was a no brainer for me. Yeah, Gwen has good taste. I love Pepe Le Pew. Poor Skunk gets a bad rep. It ain't even because of the smell. It ain't even because of the smell. No, it's a real shame. I think if they actually put in some priority to that movie to treat it as a priority, yeah, they definitely missed a generation or two because of their lack of putting some out there for younger generations to get into. But maybe they could have made it a start back towards getting into the minds of younger audiences again with this movie. This could have been the stepping stone, but they didn't even try. And I feel like that definitely makes it even bigger tragedy because I feel like from the sounds of it, there was potential, but they just didn't even give a shit. Like as you said, it's like they're trying to get rid of it. What do you think, Christian? Is this a tragedy about what's going on in the Looney Tunes? How you doing, by the way, dude?
I'm doing great. First of all, let me introduce myself properly. Huge 69 Slayer. Hello, hello, deleted scene.
Hey.
Nice to see you. I like your beard too, by the way. Looks good.
Right? Right?
Yeah, somebody was saying you look like Dr. Beard on one of those medical shows. So, yeah, you do look very studious with those glasses and the white beard. So, actually, you know what? I grew up in the 70s, Nick. I'm a little older than you. And I remember watching Looney Tunes, Blue Ribbon Entertainment, all that good stuff. Bugs Bunny, Daffy, Porky Pig, Black Jack Shellac from the Yukon, and all those. Those are classics. Taz, of course. Let's not forget
Of
Taz.
course,
And
yes.
it was legendary. And don't forget, back in the 50s, a lot of Disney animators would leave Disney and go to Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers was edgier back then. They were the Ren and Stimpy of the time.
Yep.
And it's just sad. It's a gold mine, actually, better yet, it's actually a diamond mine that Warner Brother is burying, I think. And
It
to
is.
quote Gary Neurotic, the Warner Brothers got to be the dumbest company out there. So anyway, those are my 2 cents.
No, it's a great 2 cents. It's good to see you, by the way, man. It's been,
Good to
I
see
know
you
we're
too.
on radically different schedules, so it's like I was so glad I was able to file in some time to, have a member stream, and luckily you happen to be around for it, so that is fantastic. Now, deleted scenes here says, the Looney Tunes movie was overall pretty good. Now, do you feel, Steven, I'm going to ask you this. Do you feel if there was better promotion, do you feel like there could be a potential future for a younger audience to get into Looney Tunes if Warner Bros. Were to actually try?
Oh, absolutely. Because, their parents will take them to the film, and they buried this movie for whatever reason. They canceled Coyote versus Acme completely.
What a dumb decision.
Hopefully the studio that distributed this will, maybe they'll get a hold of it and release it somehow, somewhere. Hell, I'll take it on Netflix at this point. But
I would too, just so we can
Yeah.
at least see it. Like the curiosity, it's funny how the reverse psychology of things are when it's like you now shelve it so we can never see it, and now you make us want to see it because of that.
Well,
Now that curiosity is
maybe it's a marketing plan. Who knows? I don't think they're that smart. That sounds like 3D chess, but you don't have to go that far. Like they didn't lose that much of a generation in the early 2000s. They were doing good. Looney Tunes and what did they have? They even had Steve Martin in live animated movie. They had Michael Jordan, all that. My son, who is 24 now, who is perfect parent age, could bring back, like he grew up watching those in the early 2000s. He could probably bring back a whole new generation. Like I really hope they change their mind because again, that was part of my youth. It was part of my son's youth, and I'd like to see it being part of my grandchildren's youth.
Okay, Christian, who is your go-to Looney Tunes character? If it came down to one, like, bro, we need a story on this character. Christian Delorme. Hi, we're Warner Bros. Who should we be having a movie on? At least with a primary focus. Who's your primary focus character?
Only because he's the most interesting, Daffy Duck.
Oh, Daffy's great. I mean,
Only because
it's easy, but it works.
Yes.
He's tried and true. Oh, that's fair.
Yes. And if you look at the old 50s and 60s, it's just funny. It's a rivalry with Bugs Bunny, and the fact that he's so petty and childish, it's gold. Like the stories write themselves. Like the movie could, or the show could write itself. Daffy Duck.
Okay, we got great comments here. Gwem says Foghorn Leghorn. I think Foghorn's great, actually. I will not apologize on that. Taz, Wile E. Coyote's my spirit animal. All right, Steven, who's your character? Are you gonna echo what Christian's saying? Who's your character? They're like, Steven, talk to us, man. Who's the guy?
Kristen, if you like Daffy Duck, you're going to love this new movie they just put out.
Oh, really?
Because it is. Yeah, it's primarily Daffy and Porky with Petunia.
Nice.
Kind of trying to save the world, so yeah, you'll like it. It is 100% unadulterated, full frontal Daffy.
Good.
Yeah, you'll dig it. Well, one of the reasons why I was so unhappy that Coyote versus Acme got canceled was the fact I loved the Roadrunner Coyote cartoons. The most violent cartoon of all fucking time.
Exactly.
I grew up on it and I loved it. And it was such a perfect story too that he finally gets it in his head to sue these guys because their stuff never works. Perfect.
Oh,
Right?
I
that
am
It's a
going to
great
be first
concept.
in line.
was
You
the
know,
premise. Okay.
yeah, and you know, and I love Daffy and Bugs and all those characters too. But it was always Coyote and Roadrunner that I gravitated to, and because there were like these little 7-minute little action films.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember a movie called The Villain that had Kirk Douglas in it, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, very early film with him.
I remember it.
That movie would not exist without Coyote and Roadrunner, because that's who their characters are in that film. Yeah, so it's like that's my favorite one. It always has been, always will be.
Now
And that like Gwen Stacy says in the chat, yeah, they're almost like silent films because there's not a whole lot of dialogue, and if any, in a lot of those cartoons.
Music and sound effects. That's all there is.
Yeah, that's
now.
it.
Now, I'm sorry if I sound ignorant or anything, but this is the first I heard of a Looney Tune movies, like from you guys today. And
That's
I'm
how
looking
badly this newest one was promoted, Christian.
Yeah,
You just proved the point. You just proved the point of the conversation we were having.
And I'm looking to see, like, I'm up in Canada, by the way, so I'm looking to see if, like, I looked at Landmark. We got Landmark and Cineplex up here. And I'm trying to see if it's showing, and I don't see it showing. Like, I see Minecraft, the movie, Robert De Niro movie, Snow White, of course, Captain America, Brave New World, but yeah, it's not even playing in Canada. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
So yeah. So, and it's too bad because I like Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes, Blue Ribbon, all that good stuff. And you know who's a good sidekick to Foghorn Leghorn? Okay, the Chicken Hawk. That guy was hilarious. Or what was it? The kid, the nerdy kid with who he's always trying to pick up the chicken, and it's her son, and he's a nerdy kid. He never talks. Like, those are classic. Blue Ribbon.
Yeah,
I miss that.
Dude, I remember one night I saw a few buds and we went to a show, and after the show, we're like, hey, he's like, you want to go back to my place and we'll get drunk? I'm like, yeah, we'll get drunk. And then we got drunk, and we ended up watching Looney Tunes. We're like, oh yeah, we'll watch a few episodes, we'll knock out. And it ended up being 3 hours later, we were still watching Looney Tunes after 3 hours.
Right.
And I was just like, holy shit, dude, it's 4:30 a.m. What happened? We were immersed from the late night Looney Tune binge. But you throw in the booze and the Looney Tunes.
Oh yeah.
The show. We were just like, we didn't realize because we were just so immersed. Like we were kids all over again. We were just being kids all over again, just having fun watching a marathon of episodes. Like, wow, this is still fantastic after all these years.
Now,
it's crazy.
Deleted. How's the violence for modern day 2025? In the 70s, I remember watching it. Back then, it wasn't that, well, it was violent, but it wasn't, we were used to it, I guess, lack of a better word. How is it nowadays?
Oh, for the Looney
Tunes movie, yes.
The newest one.
It's like the old slapsticky humor.
Okay.
That it always was, Yeah, it's not like over the top, because to go a little bit into the plot, because there's something that happens in the third act that I don't want to give away.
Okay.
But the idea is that it is this alien who's coming to take over the Earth for reasons that I don't want to completely go into because I don't want to blow the movie.
Okay.
But his idea is that he's going to put this substance, kind of like the substance from, the film, but kind of a PG version of that. He's putting it into chewing gum, and people will get addicted to the gum, and then they are basically these mindless zombies that will do whatever he wants. That's kind of the main idea. And Daffy figures it out. But Daffy being Daffy, no one believes him, So, So there is an element of it that kind of goes into Thing territory,
Okay.
where there's this creature that kind of comes out of the gum, and you're like, oh, that's a little dark, but it's a PG movie, so you get it. But
Right.
there's
Well,
not like gore or
PG.
anything, of course. It's
PG,
PG.
you
It's
can get
fine.
away with pushing the boundaries. I mean, obviously, the
Yeah.
Harry Potter movies did that very well, where they would toe the line with the darkness and intensity and still maintain being PG 13. So, if you're really creative, you can pull off some crazy
Oh
shit
yeah.
in a PG movie. Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank. Apologies for taking a few minutes to get to this, but he's been a member for 19 months. My
Wow.
man, thank you so much. He says, Tiny Toons was an attempt at bridging generations, and I'll throw in Animaniacs. Then somehow that continuity is broken. You know what? I'm going to capitalize on your comment because I was coming up as a kid when you had Tiny Toons. You also had Animaniacs. You also had Space Jam, which was huge. And a whole generation of kids at that time was getting into Looney Tunes because they were tying into Michael Jordan and the Bulls during the 2-3 peats of the 90s. So yeah, they actually captured the 90s generation. So they were at the time bridging generations. They were proving, hey, we can be multi-generational. We weren't just from the old times and that was it. And we're still true to who we are. And Space Jam was huge. I remember like seeing that as like I was highly anticipating that movie, like it was like the second coming.
Yep.
And I saw it in theaters, as a kid. And I remember every kid wanted to see that movie. Every kid wanted to see that movie. And it was perfect. And the fact that you had Michael Jordan during the winning days of the Bulls, it was a winning formula. It was lightning in a bottle. And they captured a generation. I remember so many kids were wearing those Looney Tunes shirts for probably the next decade, where it had them in like over like rapper looking clothes. Those were the bulk of their outfits. Those were really popular clothes for the next decade after that movie came out. So yeah, they had a shift between that Tiny Toons, Animaniacs. They had that whole gap there, and then they just stopped.
Yep.
It wasn't like, oh, this stuff went bad or it went to the message. They just stopped. It was so weird why they just stopped.
Because
There wasn't any issues with the quality of it. They just stopped. And I remember loving Animaniacs. Even Animaniacs had a great spinoff. Pinky and the Brain was a great spinoff. They were killing it, Warner Bros. Man, they were making, if they could say making cartoons as a sport, they were definitely one of the leading teams because then they had that, they had all the DC series. It was a great time to just be into any property that's Warner Brothers related. And yeah, rest in peace, Lola Bunny, for real.
and
My
don't
goodness.
and like you said, the Batman series. My son grew up with that.
Oh,
Batman,
yeah.
the Batman. So again, and they got it. Again, still to quote Gary Nerdrotic, the dumbest corporation ever because they had a following. They were. It was almost like there was two animation video. There was Warner Brother, and then there was the other one there with geez, just slipped my mind. The Spielberg animation one there. Which one is it? They did all
That was
the
Animaniacs, right? With Spielberg.
no. That was Warner Brothers. No. The Spielberg animation, the ones that did Monster Inc. and all that. What was that studio?
Pixar?
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
Pixar. Well, there's
Pixar.
DreamWorks and there's Pixar. Pixar did Monsters Inc.
Right.
DreamWorks has had other stuff.
Right. Okay. So there was 3 animation studios back then, and Warner Brother, if not leading, they were holding up their own. So again, America's stupidest corporation, to say the least. So
Oh,
Well,
and it's
I mean-
not a new problem too. It's
No.
it's a multiple decade issue. And the funny part, it ain't the only property where they have these issues from. They do us to several other properties. I mean, we've already beaten down the path on Midnight's Edge alone with Superman and how far they've gone that route. Very, very horrifyingly wrong. We won't go there.
Yeah.
And who's watching this show, they probably already know. But
Yeah.
you get the point now. Warner Brothers, they just can't get out of their own damn way. It doesn't matter who's up in charge. Doesn't matter who's in the middle, at the bottom. It just continually happens. It just continues happening. I feel like there would be a more entertaining documentary of all their crazy hijinks of the last 30 years. I feel like that would be more entertaining than most of the actual movies that came out. And you know what? He said I was never a Freakazoid, but I'll say it, man. I forget Freakazoid is a great cartoon. I love Freakazoid. Yeah, I actually thought it was a shame it only went 2 seasons. I thought that was a cool show, especially I liked how it had a little bit of the breaking the third wall element. It also tied into some real world elements, and it also tied into that world of characters, whether it was the DC characters, the Animaniacs type of characters. So it was a really unique cartoon. That was a perfect cartoon. Oh man,
Now,
Bobby's World was another cool cartoon. It wasn't Warner Brothers, but Bobby's World was killer too.
but I was
Go on.
wondering how long until Warner Brother starts disowning and burying Clint Eastwood movies, all of them, his westerns,
Oh.
his Dirty Harry stuff, like because it's politically incorrect or something stupid like that. I could see them do that.
Because that was the other mistake that they've made recently is they buried Juror number 2. You have
Oh
what is
yeah, Clint Eastwood's last movie.
could potentially be his last movie, and it went like straight to HBO Max.
What a weird choice. And I know they had
I know.
Nicholas Holt in there too. So you have potentially Clint Eastwood's last movie, because you said
Mhm.
potentially, so maybe that's true. And then you throw in Nicholas Holt, who's like a guy who's really hot on the markets right now, and you bury the lead. Once again, another weird choice because you could take advantage of the veteran name going out with a bang,
Mhm.
topped off with a hey, this
Yeah.
guy's being hot out there on the market. He's going to be in a lot of things. And you decided that once again really backwards thinking. That's the project you put in the theaters. That's how you promote it. Rising star, like who's higher than ever. Because Nicholas Holt's not exactly new, but he's definitely emerging a lot more in the last few years, which is good. I'm happy for him. I like
Hey.
what I've seen in him. He comes off as a really likable guy. Really, he does give it his all. Whether it's a good movie or bad, you can tell he's a guy who gives a shit, which is awesome. I love it. I love it. And I'm like, okay, we have a future here. Awesome. And my buddy Dustin.
Don't worry, Dustin.
Dustin. You didn't
Hey.
have to. He says for $2. Hails all. Hail to you, sir. I hope you're well,
Dustin,
Dustin.
I sent check your DMs on X. I sent you a few pictures there. Just saying. Well, what? It's cars. It's cars. Nice models, nice curves, and everything. Vehicles. Why are you always going into the gutter there, Nick?
I love you guys.
All right. Except Steven's not laughing. He's too serious for that. That's too lowbrow for him.
Steven survives when like, especially if like Toxic Tuesday goes like on a really crazy like tangent of homoeroticism and show like a Simpson or love, like the one a few weeks ago for the transporter. I swear I didn't think I was going to recover from that show. I really I was questioning my life after that show finished. Like my face hurt once that show was over and I had to like knock out and wake up in like 4.5 hours for work. I was like, oh no, what did I do with my life today? That show is just something that will. It was one of those. If you were there, you'll understand it. Yes, Deepa was there. He was one of the survivors. He wasn't a listener on that night. He was a survivor. It was a little bit of like a I survived Toxic Tuesday. I didn't just listen, but I survived it. It was something that I will not forget for a long time. It was definitely up there with when we did Showdown in Little Tokyo a few months back. Which, speaking of Showdown in Little Tokyo, I think I have a calling card. I think, sometimes when you get a calling, it's like, do I respond? Am I being spoken to? What do I do with this message? And when you look at this message, it feels like you're being talked to. And I looked into the eyes of one Dolph Lundgren, and I almost considered just saying, I do. Lo and befrickin' hold, Dolph Lundgren we'll actually be doing a signing photo selection at Dallas Fan Expo, and I'm going to show off right here. What an honor it would be if Dolph Lundgren signed my copy of Showdown in Little Tokyo. I mean, guys, we're not just talking about Ivan Drago. We're
No,
not just talking about the guy who was Gunner in the Expendables. We're talking about a very uniquely gigantic dude that, well, let's just say Brandon Lee had really, really fond memories of.
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man. You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Would it be crazy if I said this is like I just got a photo with the biggest dick that Brandon Lee's ever seen on a man?
right. Hey,
I'm just
Dustin.
saying. This is, no, it doesn't
Great
came in
segue.
at the right time. Of course he did.
Great
What's up,
segue.
Dustin? Dustin, you're on.
We left him speechless.
He's like, here we go again. How do I follow this up? I come in the show and right away Nick wastes no time. Waste no time. Uh-oh. Maybe he's having trouble getting it up in the backstage. Dustin, I'm putting you in the back door, and then you can come back when you're
Yes,
ready.
your mic.
Yeah, he'll be back. But guys, is this a sign? Should I be responding to this, Steven, Kristen? What am I being told here? What do you guys think?
Autograph and photo ops. Yeah, I would go for it, to be honest with you. Dallas,
Yeah,
if you can afford the trip, I'd be there. You never know when you'll see Dolph Lundgren again.
All right, let's see if Dustin works now. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh no. He. All right, we see
You
him
hear me?
moving. We
Yeah.
can hear
Yeah,
you.
see
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
Well, like John Cena, we do see you. So yes, we absolutely see you.
Yeah.
We do see you. How you doing, Dustin?
I'm doing fucking fantastic. Nicholas, how are you?
Mhm.
I'm doing good. I got your text message about the Pizza Michi. I want to go. I feel like that would be a good way for you and I to get together and have pizza. I feel like that's a good spot. Dave
Yeah.
Portnoy giving that an 8 in Chicago. That's saying something because it takes an extra little extra for him to do that for anything that's Chicago Tavern.
Yeah, I agree.
So anyway, I had a few comments here I'll highlight. Have you done Big Trouble in Little China for Toxic Tuesday? We have.
Yes.
During the before times, it was a jolly time. Maybe that's an idea. I survived toxic. Yeah, that could be an idea. That's a potential idea. Just saying. Oh man. So Dustin.
Well, I know Dustin has trouble with his internet sometimes. Like
I
he's
think
been
it's
on.
me.
Maybe you kicked him out again.
You know, I'm in the. It's like one of those weird relationships where it's not you, it's me.
It's me. Yeah, that's
and
right.
I feel
That's
like
my
it
favorite.
actually is me.
Maybe
But
it is.
I feel like if I'm gonna see Dolph Lundgren, I gotta try to ask him a quick question. What do I ask him that makes him remember me, and I'll get a solid answer. I'm trying to think. What do I ask him? Is it something about Showdown in Little Tokyo? Would he fight Jet Li again in a rematch? What do I ask the Dolph? Because that's what
better
do I
yet-
ask him?
Ask him about one of his 80s movie, I Come in Peace. That was a good movie. I saw that in theater. I was a teenager. Ask him about that. One of his obscured movies.
Did he keep the ear necklace prop? Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, that's good. All right, Dustin, you're in, I think.
All right. Oh, usually people have to ask me if I'm in.
Giggity. Giggity.
That's good that you knew just from experience. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta make sure. I gotta make sure, hey, I gotta make sure you're there, because sometimes you do gotta question yourself and ask, is he in? You do gotta question yourself. Oh, we got some fighting words here. Dolph is the real Punisher. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's a what, Abigail. When we hang out in Vegas next month, we're gonna have a conversation on that. I can't say I'm with you on that, but I did enjoy the Dolph, especially when he would hang out in a sewer naked. That was the weirdest
So if you get to
scene.
meet Dolph, are you going to ask him if you can see if it's the biggest dick you've ever seen?
There you go.
I probably would die immediately after. I probably would absolutely no, I had to kill you.
Did you ever hear that that Adam Sandler story about him and Shaq?
No, do tell.
So they were doing one of the movies together, and they were all playing basketball. So Shaq was like, "Hey, I'm going to go shower."
Mm-hmm.
So Adam decided, he's like, "Man, I want to see how big Shaq's dick is." So he sneaks back to the locker room, and he's going to try and catch a glimpse of Shaq's hog, right?
Yeah.
And he said he's met by this big security guard, so he just gives up and leaves. And then Shaq comes out and goes, "So you were trying to get in there?" And he goes, "Yeah, but your security guard stopped me." And he goes, "That wasn't my security guard. That was my dick."
Ah! That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that is a wild. Holy shit.
I think he said that on like Conan O'Brien or whatever one night.
That is,
and it's not gay to want to see a like if you're gonna see a 2-foot dick, that's not gay.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not personally interested, but maybe I could send to Mad Mark.
Like, I don't know if it's gay unless you like make eye contact. Wow.
I mean, that dick could probably make eye contact with you, but
I make eye contact. No, Shaq does have the humor. That's what I do love about Shaq. He's definitely a guy who can roll with crazy shit like that. Deep Ball is a great question. Ooh, this is something I might actually have to take seriously. What movie does he wish did better? AK, what's his favorite flop movie? That's a great question. I think that's gonna be my one. I think that's gonna be my one. Oh, Kazam. Yeah, Kazam is... I remember Kazam back in 96. I was living in Berwyn at that point in time, aka the town of Fanguli, when that happened. Isn't Shaq's wife, girlfriend, 5 foot? I don't know. It's Shaq. With Shaq, anything is possible. You can't put it past the Shaq man.
just not free throws.
Oh, Dustin, you're on a roll.
He's on fire.
Dude. He really is.
Yes.
I love it. He comes in here and he lets it be known that I love it.
It's a different side of Sunday morning Skeeto Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the side that I prefer. Not Keto Simple, but this side.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to have this persona when like the bulk of the people watching are like 50 plus.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Women.
50 plus, but I'm a dirty old man, so I'm in that special category. So
Joe Dog, I wish you were here earlier in our chat. We had a great conversation for like 15, 20 minutes between me, Christian, and Steven about the lack of promotion on this movie. And Steven up here on the top of the panel saw the movie and he enjoyed it. So he just got back for it. Dude, once again, just re-emphasizing the point from earlier, missed opportunity. A lot of people in our chat here had no idea it came out or didn't know about it till I guess you could say it was too little too late for a lot of them.
And not only that, sacrilege, because like Steven said, they want to raise one of the buildings that we're doing the animation in. Like, that's a piece of history. Come on, people. Like, fuck, turn that thing into a museum.
Oh, dude, if that were a museum, I'd go.
I'd go
Straight
too.
up, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, bro, you're gonna give me a museum on my Looney Tunes? Let's
Mhm.
go, Donkey and Diddy. I mean, you're not in the same universe, but you get my point. I'm just trying to show enthusiasm here, man. Make it happen. This Looney Tunes reminds me of Transformers 1, basically zero. Yeah, I mean, Transformers 1, I think I saw a few ads, and even my buddy Price of Reason, my one of my co-panelists on Mead, he even thought it was a okay movie, and he is a man who, let's just say, I'm Price of Reason, and I don't like many things, but Transformers 1, second half of it was really good. That for those who don't know, inside baseball, that's basically Price of Reason's voice.
Okay.
He actually thought the second half of it was great. He said it was a little shaky on the first half, but he really enjoyed the second half. And it seems like a lot of people who really know their Transformers actually enjoyed the movie, which is shocking because I remember looking at the trailer and thinking it looked awful because it didn't. To me, the characters weren't acting like the Transformers. I thought it was like a Transformers acting like they're the movie version of Guardians of the Galaxy. But apparently the trailer is a little misleading in that, and that the movie's actually good. So I've heard quite a few good thoughts on Transformers One, and once again, it goes to show you the larger tragedy at bay when you have something that could be good, and you either have terrible marketing where it's not existent, or it's mismarketed to be something that it isn't, and what ends up coming out versus what's advertised is way better.
One last question about the Looney Tune movies. Because it's not playing in Canada, because we're not good enough for them, is it going to
I'll
be
blame your
streaming?
prime minister on that.
Well, yeah. Which one? They're all fucking
Oh
commie,
yeah, true. Yeah.
commie bastards. So,
All right, carry on.
I was just going to say, is it going to be streaming somewhere, do you think, Steven?
Probably.
Or
Oh, I would
Nick?
think. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, keep an eye out for it because I love the Looney Tunes. Like I said, I put my son watching it. He was 4 years old watching the Looney Tunes and Big Trouble in Little China, the best trucking movie ever made.
Oh, dude, Jack Russell.
Jack Burton.
Jack Burton. That's what I meant.
Kurt
Jack
Russell.
Burton. Kurt Russell as Jack Burton. Man, what a character! What a
Oh.
movie! It's funny because when I saw it when I was younger, I just thought it was a really cool movie. But then
Yeah.
I watched it as an adult, and I didn't realize until later on, wow, they blended a bunch of genres into this movie,
Yeah.
and it actually somehow worked. Most times when you throw something and when you blend it,
Yeah.
well, you end up looking at a bit like a Frankenstein's monster, an amalgamation of parts that don't look assembled well together. But that movie freaking pulled it off, man.
But anything John Carpenter in association with Kurt Russell touched turned to gold. Escape from New York, The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, you name it. Even the non-Kurt Russell productions like
Oh, yeah.
They Live,
So good.
In the Mouth of Madness, a redone of LP. What's his name? Jesus. Again, I keep losing my mind today. It's a day off. I keep getting brain farts. Mel, who's the guy who Lovecraft, a remake of
H.P.
Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft. Thank you. So anything that John Carpenter, but again, it's one of my favorite movie. I grew up, and my son, he loves it. Mind you, my daughter is fed up of watching it. There's no more family movie night with her with that movie, unfortunately.
I love They Live. It's funny because you watch it and it feels so relevant more to now than it did
Oh, yeah.
then. Even though what Carpenter was intending that was based off of stuff that he felt about the 80s.
Yeah.
But his message rings more true now, even though it was clearly not what he intended. But it just goes to show you how crazy and spooky how movies can do that. It's the same effect that what's his name, Mike Judge had with Idiocracy. Oh boy,
Mhm.
you want movies that were just maybe
Classics.
trying to tell a point, and there was a message, but however the story ended up becoming a bit of a documentary, even though it was just trying to put a well balanced message. And yes, I agree. Rest in peace, Roddy Piper. He actually,
Oh, my
dude,
goodness,
he
really?
straight up killed that movie.
Oh yeah, he's been dead for a while.
Yeah,
Okay,
he had.
okay.
I remember when
Yeah.
I have a really killer TMNT figure of him. So there's a line of figures that came out. I think some of you in the chat have seen it. I got it stored away. It was
And
when they were doing the
oh,
2012 cartoon, and they did four figures, and they were all as WWF wrestlers. And they Michelangelo dressed as Roddy Piper, and it was so killer. He came with the bagpipes, wore the kilt, and
yeah,
he even had Piper's due. Which, speaking of one of them, some of you in the chat have seen it. Some of you, for those who haven't, well, today's your lucky day. This one's not Piper, sorry to disappoint, but this one is Donatello as the Undertaker. So
oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. This
He's got the belt.
yeah, he's got the belt. You got the cap. He's got a skeeth. It turned out killer. There's another one too. There's one of Finn Balor. There's one of them as The Rock. There's another as Macho Man. They're all really killer, and I was so happy that the 2012 TMNT cartoon capitalized on that opportunity of making those figures. I think they even did a line, I think earlier on, where they did them based on Star Trek characters too. My buddy Pat S would know. Pat was a big Trekkie, and I think his avatar has those Star Trek TMNT figures. But yeah, I love it when the TMNT lines were always creative like that, blending them in with other characters. They had a big one actually in the 90s. Once again, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, number 23. Bro, I looked up on eBay. Shit is expensive now.
Nick, I sent it to your. I sent a picture of that Rowdy pic to you for on your Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and
So
just
we can get embiggen a photo. Okay.
just some useless information. Roddy Piper was born in Saskatchewan, Canada. He's Canadian, by the way.
So we won't hold that
Oh.
against him.
No, well, that makes him even better. Come on, he enriches the American culture.
All right. Dustin, thank you. So this isn't obviously Dustin sent me a photo. This is what it does look like. Not obviously the one I particularly own. I still have mine in packaging. I'm finally gonna take it out. But this gives you a good idea of what it looks like. It's a really killer figure. With the microphone like that too. I like how it's got WWE on one side, Turtles on the other. The good old Hot Rod shirt. Man.
All right, guys, I'm old enough to remember when it was WWF.
Oh,
Me
of
too.
course, of
Oh, okay.
course. I remember that. I remember they were using the slogan during, I think it was 2002, right when they were kicking into the ruthless aggression era, and the slogan was "Get the F out," which even though the name took some major getting used to, I did think that was a funny way to use a slogan like that. That was a funny way, even though the name is still very. What's funny now is explaining it to my kids because to them. They grew up. They're 11 and 9.
Yeah.
To them, WWF sounds weird. Imagine that.
Well, again, it was a lawsuit they had, but to me, when growing up, WWF was not the worldwide fun, okay, for nature. It was always wrestling. Come on.
Yes,
So,
of course. No,
but
I learned when they were going through the name change. Apparently, Vince could have fought in court. Apparently, he just chose not to. He just kind of just like, whatever, I don't care that much.
Okay.
We're just going to change it. And apparently, he could have had a pretty decent case about it. And he just chose not to do it. So it's like, wow, of all the times that man could have actually had a decent case on his hand.
right.
So he's definitely been some weird shit before. The one time he actually has something. And he chooses simply not to. What? I think it was Taker who said. I think it was Taker because I know Taker's always had a close relationship with Vince. They're like, they're straight up buds and they keep in contact with each other. Yeah, it was Taker. I remember that because I watch his Dead Man podcast. He's like, yeah, he just kind of brushed it off. Said, we're just gonna change the name. And and that's all she wrote. And yeah, I agree. He should have, Gwen. I agree. He really should have.
And thanks, Deeple, for correcting me. World Wildlife Foundation. Yes, tree huggers. So, but I'm old enough. I remember staying up one Saturday late. I watched Saturday Night Live. That was a big no-no when I was like 12 or 13. I remember Hulk Hogan and Mr. T going on Saturday Night Live before WrestleMania 1. And back then it was just WrestleMania, the big show. I still remember that. That was
1,
great.
WrestleMania 2, WrestleMania 3. No, I don't know why.
There we go.
Yeah, now it's on 41. It's crazy because like hearing my kids now I see them, they're hugely into it. It's funny seeing them think that F sounds weird to them. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You're crazy. And like that sounds weird, Dad. I'm like, no, it doesn't. You're just being crazy. So it's funny to see how that happens because they're much younger and they grew up on a particular name. But you know what? I'm just happy overall that they are invested that the way they are invested. Like we're going to SmackDown on Friday. Yeah, Friday. And
Friday.
it's gonna be cool because we actually got pretty good seats and it's gonna be cool to see them really get immersed in it. So they've not been to like a big event type of show. This is their first thing. They've not been to like a sports game or anything. This is their first major thing. So they're really looking forward, and they're already talking about what signs they want to make.
Nice.
Straight up,
That's
man.
gotta be great. Nick, can I use some membership privilege to maybe drop my show real quick? Because I got Dustin here. I'll save a text message. Dustin, we're doing Jethro Tull tomorrow. If you're up for it.
Tomorrow we'll have to see.
Yeah, I know. You're a
Sundays
busy
are
man.
so hard for me, yeah.
I know. Well, fuck. I don't blame you. It's like 5 p.m. Sunday night when the whole family drops by for supper. I'm surprised you showed up at Black Sabbath. So anyway, just dropping the invite. Don't feel bad if you can't come. I quite understand.
I always do feel bad. I feel bad if I can't make it to yours, and I feel bad I don't make it to Toxic Tuesday. I feel bad because I
never question it, dude.
Exactly.
You know I never question
family first. Family is the most important thing, my friend. So
I know you're out. I know you come when you can. And that's
what
all
she
that
said.
matters to me.
That's what she said.
The older you get, the harder it is to come twice in a day, okay?
Oh, it's impossible. Over 50, forget
it's not
that.
impossible.
It's not, but it's hard.
Stars align from time to time.
Well, mind you, you're in better shape than I am. I'm a smoker, drinker, and overweight. So, and I don't do keto. So,
yeah.
So impossible is a closer reality for me. But anyway.
I want to acknowledge this comment from Deeple because this is a very important comment here. So if you watch anything on that show, you can see the old, they actually added the old logo back on a lot of older things, which is great.
Yeah.
Thank fuck for that because they actually took it out for a bit. And also, this is going to be a weird one for a lot of people. This is going to be a really weird one. So opinions are going to absolutely be very varied on it. But they put back the Over the Edge 1999 pay-per-view on Peacock. Obviously, they took out the stuff with Owen Hart, but they didn't have that whole Blue Blazer fall. They took all that out. But as soon as you turn on, it obviously has a quiet, silent moment where it shows a shot of Owen Hart, loving memory, and then they just kind of skip over that part like it never happened. The only thing that they mentioned of Owen Hart during that tragic event was when Jeff Jarrett was supposed to cut a promo for his upcoming match, and he ended up just talking about Owen Hart, hoping that, hey, Owen, I hope everything turns around. And they weren't sure yet at that point if he had passed on. It was kind of still like, what's going on? Some people weren't even sure if it was a work yet. So it really weird to see that pay-per-view on there because I know for a while there was only 2 or 3 tapes of it out there. One that the police in I think in Baltimore the event took place. I can't remember where the event took place. The tape that they have of the event for investigation purposes. WWE owns a tape, and there's one tape a fan posted on eBay who did a VHS recording when it was live, and then that got pulled from eBay. So only 3 recordings known to man existed prior to that, which have the full event with obviously Owen's very tragic fall. So yeah, I know people are gonna feel about it. I've brought up to people like I don't know how I feel about that. So and I get it. That's not a easy topic to tackle. Like we're finally acknowledging the event. And the funny part is it didn't happen under McMahon's name, man, but under TKO because that's who owns them now. It's a TKO decision. It was not a McMahon decision.
All right, well, I'm going to drop out. It is Saturday night. I have my lovely wife facing me here on the other side of the table. It was a pleasure seeing
hi,
you
Mel.
guys.
Camera on her instead.
Yeah, Nick says hi, Mel. Yeah, I got
did
my
too.
earphones. Oh, and Dustin says hi. Keto Simple. And you know what? She's down 20 pounds, Dustin.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's rad. Dude.
Yeah. Following your
Keep it
advice.
up.
Oh, yeah. She wants to go down to our wedding weight. So when we got married 25 years ago.
Well, one of the things to success, and this is, I'll keep it quick, is just not to focus on the scale, just focus on how you feel, and focus on satiety and just really how you feel. Like as you start to feel better, things become a lot easier. Because if you start focusing on the scale, then you'll get discouraged at the slightest little bump. So,
but it's working. Whatever she's doing, it's working. And she picked up extracurricular activity, swimming. She goes swimming 3 times a week, which is the best thing. So. Anyway,
Christian, it's been good to see you, man. Thank you for hanging out.
Well, it was nice to have to hang around with all of you. Like I follow all 3 of you, Stephen included, and sometimes, and it's just great to be in person with you guys. It's always a pleasure. And thanks, even though there's turmoil, political turmoil, and our countries, respective countries, are at each other's throats. Still nice to be civil with some good fellow Americans. I'm not
gonna not be friends with my friends from the great North.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at Canadians. You know what I mean? That's I mean,
it's governments. Yeah,
it's like hopefully they're not mad at us Americans. It's not. You know what I mean?
Well,
like I'm sure there are some.
We got like everywhere else, we got useful idiots, and they're just screw the Americans. We're not going down south. We're not going to Florida. We're not going. It's like, come on, guys. The thing is political. You got
them saying we're not going to Florida, not going to America is like the customer who's angry at Walmart, Target, saying I'm never shopping again. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's not going to last too long. But again, if you have a bit of intelligence, you find out that hey, it's not the Americans. The problem is us Canadians, and the Americans are just responding to us being a problem. It's not that hard, people. But
I'm not
useful idiots.
Though.
Well, yeah. I'm too smart to follow Gwen Stacy. Florida sucks anyways. It's freaking humid. It's too hot down there. But
that's where Disney is, okay? You back off.
And that's where a lot of the great death metal bands of the OG Florida era are too.
Right.
I'm sure she just walks on in at Target and she just sees Obituary there, John Tardy yelling at the intercom. Aisle 9.
We did do East Coast trash. I know I'm not pronouncing the H. Sorry, Nick. But yes, and there was a lot of Florida bands from there. So anyway, it's been a slice, guys. Steven, nice seeing you too. And Dustin, we'll see you tomorrow morning. And Nick, I'll be in touch. And Dustin, keep watching. I'll be sending you more of my favorite car models.
I can't wait.
Good man. That's why I like you. All right, guys. Take care.
Take care. So, Steven.
Yes, sir.
Now that we had A Working Man come out yesterday, I'm curious. Do you think this movie is going to pull through? Do you think it has what it takes to clinch #1 this weekend? And do you feel like
I think it will.
You think it will?
Yeah.
Nice. I feel like it's interesting between this one and The Beekeeper. I feel like Statham's having like a bit of a second win where he's putting out stuff that's as good as his Cranks and Transporters. Maybe in some cases even better. I feel like right now he's having that to his advantage, which is funny because you're like, that show's already 20 plus years ago. Now he's putting out stuff that's like, holy crap, he might be just now hitting his stride. It's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always figured that Statham was kind of a throwback to the action heroes of old.
Of course.
You know, when I saw The Transporter the first time, I said, we need a Bronson, because Charles Bronson had passed. We need somebody who could like fill that gap, and I think Statham does that. He's not afraid to do an action film. You know, I feel the same way about Gerard Butler. Like a lot of his movies remind me of like the Cannon films from the 80s. He definitely could have been one of those guys. Statham could have been one of those guys. And I'm like, there are still a few actors out there who will fill the gap. We still have Stallone.
Yes, we
And
do.
this is very much a movie. I brought this up last night on the roundtable review. The round table of Tom and myself, but still a round table.
Yeah, it's a round table.
This is A Working Man is a movie I could see Stallone doing in the 90s.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then obviously him
Yeah.
taking Chuck Dixon's novel and then
he's
making
involved,
a
yeah.
screenplay with David Ayer out of it. It makes sense. It really does make sense. And I know him and Statham are best buds. They're like they are straight up homies. Like they're definitely the type of guy who definitely keep in touch with each other the same way Sloan keeps in touch with Chuck Dixon. And of course Statham's now done 2 movies in a row with David Ayer. So it's clear that we got a little bit of like a bromance thing with these guys. Like, oh, you work with this guy, I work with this guy too. Let's all link up together. And then boom, out comes A Working Man. It's like they created a baby. 4 men together create a baby, if you think about it. No, I'm hoping what we can get out of A Working Man, the hopeful number one performance. Now it's hopeful because it's not official. One day, still one day. It's not the weekend. I'm hoping that it'll translate not into just a Levon Cade series, but I'm hoping somewhere someone can be looking at this. But you know what? Maybe if we committed to vigilante type of action thrillers, we can have more of these types of movies. It doesn't mean we need to have every movie be like them, because I don't believe in that idea either. But at least have an emphasis on more, because if you start at a base somewhere, be like, okay, we got to start somewhere. And if you look at the first John Wick, if you look at its box office numbers, they're not all that high, but it had pretty good legs and it was cheap to make and ended up being profitable from that. John Wick had a similar start to, let's just say, The Beekeeper.
I didn't even see John Wick for a long time. I was under the impression it was kind of like a Johnny Mnemonic rip, like another Johnny Mnemonic type movie.
Yeah.
And then when I watched it, I was like, why did I sleep on this? I just didn't hear anything about it. And that's kind of like, I didn't hear about The Working Man until we talked about it on a Toxic Tuesday. Then I'm sitting there with the Internet Movie Database, realized that Levon has my last name. I should get a free ticket to see this movie.
Right.
But yes, I'm trying to talk the wife into going to see it tomorrow. I want to go see that, and I want to see The Death of a Unicorn. I don't know what it's about, but I know it's got Paul Rudd in it, so it can't be that bad.
He is Paul Rudd. It's got to be at least decent with him being in there.
Yeah. So I just want an excuse to go to the movies again.
Yeah, do a double feature. So I don't know if you had this brand out by you in Indiana. I don't know. But in Illinois, there's a brand called Classic Cinemas. So at Classic Cinemas, I know there's one by our buddy Tom. My tickets were $7 a ticket. That's like 2005, 2006.
Yeah, ours are
prices.
like we've got a smaller like with the town where we live. There's like quality theaters or whatever. It's an 8-screen theater, and I think it's like $8 to see a movie.
Mm-hmm.
If we go on a Tuesday, like a Monday or Tuesday, I think it's $5 or $6.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's when we try to go, and then we accrue points, and we can get like popcorn for free or whatever.
It was nice to be able to go to a Friday night and only have to spend $7 a ticket. It was freaking nice, and like I got myself some nachos. It was great, and of course they got the stadium seating. It was cool as they had a section too to show off the old school traditional seating where it was like flat surface. So I was like, I got to take a seat at one of the traditional seats, and when theaters still did that. Obviously, there's a few left that still have that, but obviously they're like becoming extremely aware. So it was cool to like see them like, oh, so that's what that's like. Because I remember being a kid, not being tall, having to like practically stand up on my seat so I could see him because there'd be some tall dude in front of me or some shit. Like, oh wow, this is what I used to have to be the struggle is real about. Now we have it so good with Steve Scene because
comics
even when you got a tall dude in front of you, it doesn't matter because you go up. It's great. See, great comments here. Lester says, same thing with Cruz as Jack Reacher. That could have been a franchise. Hannibal Grimm, decent's got its issues, but decent. Okay, that's things like people want these types of movies. Decent, good, other characters. Yeah, I feel like there should be a push to make these type of movies, because if you make a push, eventually people will catch on to a pattern, and then once you get a pattern, you create a habit, and when you create a habit, people will start recognizing it, and when they recognize it, well, then they want more of it, especially if it's good. I mean, that's how a lot of these trendsetters work, is you start out small and you hit a target, and then you find ways to repeat the target while having little variations and detours in between. I'm hoping, well, and it doesn't even have to be just Jason Statham. Find something for even Chris Pratt. People are thinking, how Chris Pratt. If you're saying how Chris Pratt, that means you haven't watched the Terminal List, and this is your incentive now to watch the Terminal List, so you could say, hey, give him the right material. That guy could pull it off. He's proven. So you give that man the right material. So we got those type of guys out there. We just got to give them the material. We give them the material, bro, we could have our next wave of badass movies. I'm wishful thinking, but I feel like the potential there to have this be at least somewhat of a small trend could be a thing again if there's a heart, time, money, and trust put into it. And then Steve was like,
yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
about that.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think I want to see these kind of movies come back.
Mm-hmm.
We so desperately need them, I think. These movies where we can just go back and have fun going to the movies again. Bring the action films back. Bring comedies back. I am getting tired
That's
of
a big
these
one. Comedies.
I am getting tired of these, anti-humor, as they call it, this Gen Z humor. I don't get it. It's not funny. It doesn't work. Quit trying to be Saturday Night Live. They haven't been funny for 25 fucking years. Come back and have somebody who has the backbone to make a Blazing Saddles. Hell, a Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder was not that long ago. Come back and make something like that.
It's not. It wasn't that long ago. You're right. It's crazy because if you think about it like that, you realize it wasn't that long ago. Though for some it feels like a lifetime ago. It wasn't. Guys, we shifted that far ahead that quick. It's time to shift back around and really just marinate in a bunch of these types of movies. And I feel like the best part about these types of movies, Steven, is they do have a timeless quality. Now, unless you go out of your way to date them, which to me you have to go out of your way to do, is to date them. If you don't do that, they could be timeless movies. Even the ones that are not as good can still be timeless.
I've gone back and started watching, rewatching some of the comedies from like the mid 2010s, the late 2000 or 2010s. I've been watching like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, like Knocked Up, This Is 40, some of those movies, just because I can kind of. Forgetting Sarah Marshall is kind of one of those movies that I can watch whenever. There has been such a lack of movies that I can just kind of flip on.
I Love You, Man was the last comedy I really enjoyed.
Oh, that one is so good too.
Dude, where he throws that punch at Lou Ferrigno. Fuck you, Lou Ferrigno. Oh, he's so
in it.
strong.
I mean, come on.
Oh, dude, when him and Paul Rudd were licking each other's bases. and the girlfriend and Zoe is her name in the movie. She was like, why are you guys licking each other's bases? We're just learning the set list. And I love when they're getting the arguments. Have fun with your pal Sydney. Go get sandwiches and go to Rush concerts. I like how she said it in a way as if that's supposed to be a horrible time. Like you're not doing it. You're making it sound like a great time. How does this sound bad?
Casey mentioned Shallow Hal. That movie pisses me off so bad.
I like Shell. I gotta rewatch Shell.
So what pisses me off is like they're talking about like the Beatles reunion with like Eric Clapton and somebody else sitting in, and I'm like, and they're like, do you want to go? And she's like, no. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'll suck your dick if we can go. Okay. Like, let's go. Like, I don't care. I mean, that's just like, they're just talking about all this awesome shit. And I'm like, she's pigeon-toed. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck cares? Let's go. I don't know. It's just that things about that movie really made me mad, but just like, not because of the movie, but little piece, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude. But I mean, that's me.
I gotta rewatch it. Maybe that could be a you and I thing to talk about. That's something to think about, Dustin. What's up, Mike XRL7, dude? Loved your newest video, by the way. Absolutely killer as per usual. Great conversations, great challenging of discussion in the video too. Of course, the pixel animation style is still great. The music is still killer as well. I feel like you were gone for a bit, dude. I'm glad to see you back in the space, and I hope to see more episodes soon. So shout out to my guy Mike from XRL7. Please do sub to that man's fantastic channel. His channel is like a million times better than mine. He's an actual YouTuber. I come on here and like I fuck off and have fun with the dudes. Basically, I'm just a guy who comes on here and talks. He's an actual proper YouTuber. Just saying. That's an actual YouTuber, folks. Actual. Like our buddy Mexican Iron Man. All right. Dudes, I hate doing this. I really, really do. But I do gotta get on going to some personal family related stuff. Seriously, this is awesome. Time flew by. I didn't even realize it. Great conversations had from vigilante movies, Looney Tunes, Dolph Lundgren and his wing, homoeroticism. It's been awesome to chat with the dudes. Great to hang out Christian, Dustin, deleted scenes. Chat, thank you for hanging out. Yeah, Lester, thank you for your member comment. And Nick the Greek, thank you, sir, for your super chat. I do greatly appreciate those guys. I mean, these are not expectations. They happen or they don't, and I'm just as fine either way. And Dustin, you gave one as well, even though you didn't have to. Chat, I want to thank you for your time and hanging out with us, chipping into conversation. I love seeing the input. Also good to see some familiar faces I hadn't seen in a while. Absolutely badass as well. Hope to see a lot of you soon. Really quickly on my channel. Guys, in case you haven't watched it yet, I did a review for A Working Man. Do watch that. I will post the link in the chat. You can watch as soon as this stream is over. Or put on your watch later tab. So do watch that. And also, Toxic Tuesday, we will be talking The One. Jet Li's The One. And of course, the next night, I'll be talking Daredevil Born Again with Mark D with a C. And I'll have another video out next week as well. I've been actually putting out quite a few videos lately. It's great. So I got another one coming out. It's going to be great. So that's what's coming on my channel. I'm going to let these gentlemen plug their plugs, and then we're going to get the fuck out of here. So, Steven, plug out, sir.
All right. Well, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. will be my program Unscripted. It's episode 103 entitled Snowblind. And I am going to be going into the whole Snow White debacle, as they say. And we will see if my subscribers turn on me or not and actually make me go see this thing. They probably will. So get the hammer and nails out now. Also, I have another show, Reserved Seats, formerly The Other Side of Midnight, which will be at the 12:05 a.m. on the East Coast. And Joe's Atmosphere will be my guest for the show. Nice. So check us out there. And Tuesday, live from Sparkwood in 21, returns. It is a retrospective of the Twin Peaks television series. Nice. And we are going to be concluding the fan film Queen of Hearts. And the director of that film is going to be joining us the week after next to talk about it. So join us there. And yeah, that's what I got coming up.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah, man. Love to hear that. I got to come back on your channel soon, man. It's overdue.
Oh, indeed.
It's very
It is.
overdue. Thanks for being here, Steven. Love having these conversations with you. Always love having you around whenever you can be here. So your time is valuable and appreciated. And of course, to Dustin, the same sentiments stand. Your time is valuable and always appreciated. Dustin, what do you got coming out on your channel?
Tomorrow we got me, Coffee, live tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If we don't go to the movies on Monday, I want to go see both of those movies Monday if I can. If not, I will probably do a live since we're not doing a live Tuesday. I won't be on Toxic Tuesday. We will be out of town. We're heading up north for a meetup with some other YouTubers and a company that I work with. Stay tuned for that if you're interested at all. But then I'll be back on Sunday again with my Sunday Live. So yeah, be on the lookout for any videos that I've got coming out. I've been really slacking on that, but you know, it was always good to see you, Steven, and you, Nick, as well.
See you too.
Likewise. All right. Thank you, Dustin. Appreciate it. Guys, check out their channels. Once again, go watch my Working Man review. We're wrapping the show up. This is goodbye, good fight, good night, and I'll see you all soon. Lay down your souls to the gods. Rock and roll.
I smell horse shit. It's horrible, but I can smell